What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? This is I, James, and Courtney, and Vern. ReadOptionAgency.com, 20 plus years selling on eBay. All right, I've been working all day yesterday on the office space, getting the cube set up with personal stuff. This is going to be an ongoing process, rearranging, moving things around. Everything's just kind of thrown up there right now. Just as I was shifting stuff, but got the second TV hooked up, which is piggybacked off the little computer, so I can watch hockey games or whatever on here while I work. Got my shoes all spread out up there, along with over here. This is all still going to be drafted stuff that needs pictures. And then cleaned up my whole work picture station area. So, haven't seen how it flows yet with listing and what have you, being I shifted my table and whatever. So I haven't listed nothing yet. Today's gonna be a busy day too. Yesterday was good sales. I had about 60 items total for the day. But then overnight shut off. Like I haven't sold nothing in the last 4 hours. So another overnight issue. And I'm just starting to wonder if that's if it is a eBay server thing shut down, or if you have decent sales, it just automatically, the algorithm shuts you down and kind of buries your items. So I'm not 100% sure anymore which one it is, but what can you do? I did notice that it seems like 5% decrease on promoted listings gives you about $400,000 less, $400,000 less imprints on eBay. But it doesn't really vary so far the number of items you sell, which is odd. So it's like I have a better sell-through rate with a lower percentage than I did with the higher percentage. And that may be because the impressions were in places that people were not searching for that item. If you look in the performance tab, there'll be impressions not linked to search or something like that. I can't remember the exact title. So that might be where all the extra ones are coming from, would be my guess, my uneducated guess anyway. All right, so we're gonna go down. We're at 8 a.m. Sunday morning, so we're gonna go down and get some stuff shipped. I still gotta clean up the living room for Tuesday's install, and a few other little things to do. I gotta figure out, I got a bunch of older stereo equipment and stuff there, and my 2 old speakers there. So I gotta figure out what I wanna do with my second stereo system set up, where I'm even gonna put it. So we'll see there. But anyway, let's get to pulling and shipping, shall we? All right. I haven't got no camera system set up in the office yet either, so I need to figure out how I want to lay that out. But I did find another set of giveaway. As I said about in past videos, what I want to do is on some lives giveaway bootleg stuff, like this bootleg Bruce Springsteen album. And then I found a bunch actually yesterday, but these are right here for me. Some bootleg Fish, Woodstock, New York, 1996. So 1 of 2 parts, 2 of 2 parts, 1 of 2 parts. Also, there are different dates on this one. But anyway, so we'll add those to the pile. So anybody who likes AC/DC bag, Fish, that will be added too. Adrian was gone all day yesterday, so this is only a little bit from Friday night. So I'm going to do a lot of pulling today. I think he's here now, I think. Anyway, if you watched the last video, Friday, the ending with a thrifting in a Pasha video, the first item that sold is right there. from that lot. And it ended up being one of the items I said would probably not be a key item to make my money back before Monday morning. Yet it was the first item sold. And I think I got a glimpse of one other item that sold from that pile also, if they paid. So we'll see if I made my money back yet or not. So I found a bunch of old Nintendo Power Game Pro magazines that I had in storage. Probably got at the bins because they didn't have my name on it. They had somebody else's. So listed those, I think, Friday. And a couple had sold, I've seen. So got about 82 items as of right now to get sent out. So we'll get started. All right, might as well start with it. So the Best of Fuel CD sealed sold for $8. So I got 8 back of my 20 thus far. Joy to the World 8-track. Sold for $10, headed to Vermont. Another Christmas 8-track. Sold for $10, headed to Prairie Village, Kansas. Nintendo Power magazine from 2005. Sold for $10, headed to Woodbury, Minnesota. And he pulled the wrong one. It's supposed to be the black one. But a Foreigner cassette sold for $5.55, headed to Minnesota. Are you ready for a CD light? Yeah. We got 4 promo CDs, singles. 3 of them taking advantage of my clearance. Buy 3 or more, get 55% off. So we got 4 of them sold for $17, headed to Church Road, Virginia. Billy Myers, It All Comes Down to You. Katie Lang, and Maxi Priest. Alrighty, we've got Leonard Skinner vinyl, sold for $10, headed to Osborne, Missouri. Alrighty, going to Control, Illinois. We got a Gulf Shores visor, sold for $8. Alrighty, and we've got a Book camouflage hat, sold for $15, headed to Hesmer, Louisiana. Hayden Machinery camouflage cap, sold for $9, headed to Italy. Alrighty, we got a little Hot Wheel here, RD02. Happy birthday. Sold for $7, headed up to New York. Strictly the Best various CD, sold for $7, headed to San Diego. Going to Miramar, Florida, if I'm saying that right. This Miami hat, Mitchell & Ness. All right, sold for $16. Been in the store over 2 years. We've got the Walt Disney World tote bag, sold for $9, headed up to New York. TMC Destination Excellence hat, sold for $7, headed to Stillwell, Oklahoma. All right, Precision Electrical Contractors, sold for $10, headed to Calhoun, Tennessee. Boston Red Sox going to Scottsdale, Arizona, sold for $7. Just got a blank black faded glory hat here, sold for $5, headed to Cincinnati, Ohio. So I picked this up at the Honey Hole, Sony Walkman. It was in a case. I think I got the case and this for like $4. The case I listed separately. And this sold for $20, headed to Milwaukee. Roxette Look Sharp Record Club version. Headed over to Germany, sold for $5. Princess cassette, sold for $5, headed to Princeton, New Jersey. And there it is, thrifting in a Pusha. Second item sold before Monday morning. Turned out to be the Beatles shirt. Somebody mentioned in the comments, and I noticed as I was listing it, obviously, that tag. I thought it was kind of new, but that tag was definitely not for it. It had 2X on it. This was only a large, so didn't catch that while making the video, but you guys did, or at least one person did. And this sold for $14. Paid $1 for it. And going to Richland Heights, Texas. Or Richland Hills, Texas. It's got HLS. Guessing it's Hills. So that's $22 off of $20. So not counting the fees. I got my money back before Monday morning. And we're not done yet. We still got a full day left. So we can see if something else sells from that video. I just put this up the other day. Amy Stewart, knock on wood, 45. Sold for $5.55. Headed to San Carlos, California. The Critters, 45. Sold for $5.55. Headed to Clearwater, Florida. The Blasters Collection on cassette. Sold for $5.55. Headed to Richardson, Texas. These shoes have brought some drama. I sold them before they even were delivered. I don't want these. They're not my size. I'm like, I'll send them back. So he gets them. Well, how do I do that? Tell him how to do it. I don't understand. Leaves me negative feedback. Shoes are torn up. I'm like, it's in the listing. Of course they're torn up. You can see it in the pictures. It's there. It tells you. But they're Nike ID Kobe's. But somebody can repair this stuff. But and paint and stuff. But so finally mails them back. And I go, why'd you leave me negative feedback? Why are you trying to ruin my account? He goes, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin your account. They were just in bad shape. I'm like, but you sent them back. You didn't even want them. He goes, I'm sorry. I'm like, can I send you a feedback revision? He said, yes. So he revised his feedback. I'm like, God, Lord. So now I relisted them 2 days ago. They sold yesterday, I guess. And headed to Beverly Hills, Michigan. Well, that's confusing. And hopefully I won't see him again. Sold for $30. Ready for a Cyndi Lauper. Yeah. 2 Cyndi Lauper cassettes. Sold for $10. Headed to Bend, Texas. Holy crap. Oh man, this sold for $5.50, right? $5.55 clearance. You want to talk about, I didn't think I had this kind of stuff in my store still, that I would have to find it down here and relist it. Looking at this picture, this is one of my old ways I used to take pictures. Remember that fake brick background stuff you get at like Home Depot or whatever? This is back when my niece was taking pictures for me. And my sister was over here and she would work for me. This thing has been in the store a minimum of 8 years. Easy, because my dad's been here 6. My sister and Haley didn't work for me. Probably 2 or 3 years before that. Holy crap. I am shocked to see that this was actually still in my store listed, that I didn't end it at one point because it was sitting in there so long. Wow. That's pretty cool. Nice. It's so old that where the location is, it's before I was using and or there were custom SKU. Like either I didn't know about it or I didn't see it. So I would put it in the listing at the very bottom, stored on the item page. Wow. That was a cool surprise. And it's headed to Raleigh, North Carolina. If you watch my videos all the time, you know I got up here the other day because I saw something was too close to that light, and it was this big-headed guy right here. And he sold. Pretty cool. Sold for $9.50. Headed to Albany, Oregon. I thought this was going to be one, but it wasn't. I picked when we went to Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and then went over to where the Benz is, about 30 minutes away. Picked up a bunch of Razorback t-shirts and what have you, but this was not one I got there. I thought it might have been, but it wasn't. All right, sold for $8 and headed to Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. All right, this was a cool vintage shirt I found a little while ago. So Paducah, Kentucky, halfway between Possum's Trot and Monkey's Eyebrow, single stitch tee. Sold for $22 and it's headed up to Whiteman Air Force Base. Alabama Crimson Tide t-shirt sold for $7, headed to Port Orange, Florida. But this Arkansas Razorbacks women's t-shirt was one I just picked up on my Eureka Springs, Arkansas trip. So bam, there you go. So for $8, headed to Addison, Texas. And I guess you can use that as kind of a tip, because locals don't mess with, normally, unless you're me, don't mess with local sports stuff. Like, you see all the Cardinal stuff I find and I sell. So when I go to bins in other states, I grab all the sports stuff I can find. Like, I bought a bunch of the Razorback stuff at the bins down there, and nobody else was grabbing that stuff. And so $8 was it sold right there? So that's just one of them. I think I've already sold some. I don't remember offhand, but I think I already did. Anyway, I think that's going to be all for this video. I'll let Adrian wake up and come down and do some pulling for me so I can get some of my other stuff done for the day. And we will come back this evening with another video to finish up. And so, look at her. So snoozy. All right, I am out. Thank you everybody for watching, and see you in the next video.